I think there's probably one other job that you're about to get into that is really hard and really scary. You're about to be a mom. How is that feeling? Pops. Oh, let me get it together.
Pops.
About to be a pops. Please tell me how exciting that is for you and what you're looking forward to most.
I'm super excited. Well, I mean, I guess I'll just drop it. He's here. So he's here. Yes. 7/8/24.
We will defend the proud tradition of female athletes, and we will not allow men to beat up, injure, and cheat our women and our girls. From now on, women's sports will be only for women.
Your son to call you pops, and whenever his friends ask, what does your dad do for a living? He's supposed to say, oh, he plays in the WNBA.
Brittney Griner's so-called medical records just hit the internet, and if they're legit, this is a bombshell. The files suggest she wasn't born female at all. We're talking about hormone treatments, surgeries, the whole 9 yards. Exactly the type of thing the league never wanted to see daylight, but now it's out in the open and the drama is spiraling. Griner has been holding it down in the WNBA for years, but things really started to crack after that viral courtside moment when she allegedly shouted at Caitlin Clark, calling her a trash F-word white girl from the bench. That wasn't just a fiery sports insult. It was the spark that set off a full-blown investigation into her past. From being locked up in a Russian men's prison to doctors now claiming her biology doesn't add up with what the league has been selling, this is chaos at the highest level. And the worst part? The WNBA's silence is deafening, making people wonder just how deep this cover-up really goes.
In sports, we like to have a sense that the playing field is level, that there is fairness in competition. Another really important value in sports is that we want everybody to have an opportunity to play, particularly when we're talking about young people. And as a result, with this particular topic, there is apparent conflict between those two values.
We will defend the proud tradition of female athletes, and we will not allow men to beat up, injure, and cheat our women and our girls. From now on, women's sports will be only for women.
After that sideline blow-up went viral, leaked medical paperwork started flooding online. And this wasn't random fan gossip or TikTok theories. This looked official. We're talking names, medical terms, lab numbers, everything. According to what's being circulated, the reports allegedly reveal testosterone levels far outside female ranges, bone density consistent with a male frame, and even surgical notes that point to procedures not athletic but transitional. Fans were stunned, and suddenly the pieces started to line up. Because here's the kicker. Trainers have been whispering about Griner's body for years. They say she doesn't heal like anybody else in the league. Injuries that usually sideline players for weeks, Griner's back on the court in days like nothing ever happened. People started pulling old clips, pointing to moments that suddenly look very different under this new spotlight. And trust me, this is just the beginning of the storm.
It pisses me off because I don't think there's anyone in America that supports the WNBA more than NBA players.
100%.
The NBA players support the WNBA like
the most.
More than we probably support the NBA. And it bothers me.
Those things don't change when transgender women suppress testosterone. They don't get shorter. They've still got big lungs.
At first, everybody brushed it off, saying, oh, she's just built differently. But now, that phrase hits completely different. When you line it up with the voice, the lightning-fast recoveries, the massive frame, and then compare it to how male athletes typically bounce back from injuries, the puzzle starts snapping together real quick. While the league kept silent, fans went full-blown detective mode. They weren't just letting this slide. They started pulling old game clips, slowing down interviews, rewatching training footage, even digging into sports science journals. The deeper they went, the more obvious things started to look. Because let's be real, the way Brittney moves, the hang time on her jump, the crazy wingspan, the force behind those dunks, it doesn't line up with the average WNBA player, not even close. And then came the highlight reel that had everybody's jaw on the floor. People were watching like, hold up, that's the same league where most players can barely graze the rim? The difference wasn't subtle, it was bold, in-your-face domination. But that wasn't even the wildest clip. Brittney once posted a topless video on Instagram, no bikini, no cover-up, nothing. And here's the shocking part. The platform didn't flag it at all.
WNBA has long embraced the LGBT community, both on the court and in the stands. But starting this week, it will become the first professional sports league to have a marketing campaign specifically targeting those fans.
And for us, it's really a celebration of diversity and inclusion and a recognition of an audience that has been with us very passionately.
The league's WNBA Pride campaign will focus on print and the web, including a league website. All teams will participate.
That can be hosting a Pride night. That can be having a player serve as a grand marshal in a Pride parade.
Instagram's AI system reportedly read her as a male user and just let it slide. Fans couldn't believe it. They started asking if this was any other WNBA player, would that post really stay up? And it doesn't stop there, because let's be real, these questions didn't just pop up yesterday. The deep voice, the wide shoulders, the heavy build, fans have been pointing this out since day one. But what really made people stop and stare was what Brittney said after welcoming a baby into her life. She flat out told a reporter she wanted to be called Pops. Not mom, not even parent, Pops. Now pause for a second. How many new moms do you know who demand to be treated like the dad? That statement had people side-eyeing hard. Let me tell you exactly what she said so nobody thinks this is just twisted gossip. After that moment, the tone around her name shifted fast. Some people stopped calling her Brittney altogether and started calling her Brittney Griner. And here's the wild part. It wasn't even meant as a joke.
Around 80 points a game. Didi Richards can't get... You just tell she's in a lot of pain. Having another tremendous season. On her second gold medals, we hear the applause as she comes to her feet. She has 26 points tonight, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. It's a tough tumble there. She gets help off the floor.
So when you hear fans say, Brittney Griner dressed as a woman, it's not about hate. It's about people connecting dots. The league clearly didn't want anybody connecting. But here's where it really gets heated. And honestly, fans have a point. Women's sports weren't created just for entertainment. They were built to protect fairness, to make sure female athletes had a safe level playing field where they weren't up against someone built with the power, speed, and recovery of a male body. So if Brittney Griner is dominating the WNBA while never showing clear proof of her gender status, then what are we even watching? Because once someone with those alleged physical advantages steps on the court, it stops feeling like competition and starts looking like a straight-up robbery of the game. Now listen closely to this clip, because even leaders outside the WNBA are speaking up, echoing what parents and athletes have been shouting for years.
States who are aggressively moving to prevent transgender athletes playing. And I was wondering, again, I hate to put one more thing on your plate, but in terms of on your radar, where is that? You're going to have a tremendous platform, but where is that going to be on your radar in terms of advocating for athletes, all athletes, transgender athletes to be able to play?
Oh, I mean, that ranks high on the list of things that I'll be fighting for and speaking up against. You know, everyone deserves the right to play. Everyone deserves the right to come here, sit in these seats and feel safe and not feel like there's a threat or they can't be who they are or like it's just all eyes on them. So I think it's a crime, honestly, to separate someone for any reason. So I definitely will be speaking up against that legislation and those laws that are trying to be passed, for sure.
You don't even have to like who's talking to recognize the truth in what's being said. At the end of the day, if biological men are allowed to dominate sports built for women, then what are we really protecting anymore? Fans aren't sugarcoating it either. They're calling it out raw. One person wrote, "If it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, then it's a duck. Brittney Griner is not a woman. Brittney Griner is a man." Another fan came even harder, blasting the league with, "Who is the WNBA trying to fool? They knew Brittney Griner was a man all along. Now they're just trying to cover their butts." And don't forget, Griner herself has been front and center pushing for trans athletes to compete in women's sports with zero restrictions. This isn't just something people made up. She's been loud about it. Watch this press interview. She didn't just give an opinion. She said it's a crime to block biological males from competing against women. A crime. That was her exact word. She's made it her mission to push that agenda forward, even saying in another sit-down that making sure trans athletes get full access to women's leagues was at the very top of her list. So when people started questioning her own biology, that old clip hit completely different. Suddenly, it didn't feel like just an opinion. It felt personal, almost like she was defending herself through the conversation. And now, people are finally saying out loud what so many were already whispering behind the scenes. Of course she's against any kind of ban, because if the leagues ever decided to test hormone levels, scan bone density, or check original birth records, players like Brittney might not even qualify to play. And don't forget, this is the same person the U.S. traded for the Merchant of End, Victor Bout, one of the world's most notorious arms dealers, who sold missiles, bombs, and destruction to whoever had the money.
Swaggy, Brittney, let me see something real quick. Brick, thank you. Get the hell out of here, yo. Jab stepping, it's a brick. Swing and a miss.
Oh!
Yo, I ain't gonna.
Now here's where it gets wild. When Russia arrested Griner, they didn't treat her like the league does. One fan put it perfectly. The Russians aren't stupid. They threw her straight into a men's prison, and that's the part that still blows people's minds. Russia knew something the WNBA has been tiptoeing around. Watch this footage of her being swapped for Victor Bout. Pay close attention to how it was framed. That wasn't just a prisoner exchange, it was a message. Because if Russia truly believed she was biologically female, would they have locked her in with men? Think about that. And here's where the double standard stings real female athletes the most. Women who were born female, raised female, and never hid a thing have been banned from sports altogether, just for naturally high testosterone levels they couldn't control. We're talking Olympic champions and world-class record holders sidelined for being too strong. Names like Caster Semenya, Duty Chand, even Namibia's Christine Mboma, athletes who never transitioned, never lied, never faked anything, still got banned or forced out of their main events because their bodies didn't fit the federation's rules. Meanwhile, Brittney is out here dominating with alleged advantages nobody wants to talk about. If that doesn't scream unfair, then what does? So here's the question. Why does Brittney get a free pass? Every other athlete gets poked, prodded, and tested like lab rats. Illegal substance screens, hormone checks, full medical monitoring. But somehow, one player can break every biological rule in the book and nobody blinks? Let's be real.
McLaughlin will let her go. No look pass for Griner and a dunk!
I mean, no one else. No other woman who plays basketball can do that. Two-handed, 2 feet, just goes up. I mean, you're going to give a crowd.
The WNBA isn't just about basketball, it's about pushing a message. Their whole image is built around being woke, progressive, and unapologetically inclusive. And they don't just talk the talk, they market it. From multi-million-dollar sponsorships to flashy courtside slogans to full-on Pride Night events, the league sells itself as the face of equality and inclusion. But if that image turns out to be fake, they are nowhere near ready for the backlash that would come crashing down. Because if this ever gets confirmed, the legal blowback would be brutal. Imagine lawsuits from players who had to face her, athletes who lost games, missed out on bonuses, lost endorsement deals, or even career milestones, all because they were forced to compete against someone with an alleged undisclosed biological edge. That's not just unfair, that's money and history stolen. And it wouldn't stop there. Sponsors, big names who poured millions into what they thought was a women's league, would start demanding answers. Some might even want their money back. That alone could sink the league financially. And don't forget, the fallout wouldn't just stop with the WNBA. The NBA would get dragged into this too because they bankroll and manage the league behind the scenes. Now, before we go deeper, watch this clip. It's Draymond Green himself, an NBA champ, admitting the NBA has been carrying the WNBA both financially and publicly. That's not just support, that's straight up dependency. And here's the part nobody dares say out loud. If Brittney's status ever gets officially exposed, it won't just shake up the WNBA. It could force every major league.
You're about to be a mom. How is that feeling? Pops. Oh, let me get it together. About to be a pops.
tennis, track, soccer, even the Olympics, to bring back strict biological testing across the board. And in today's climate of politics and identity battles, that would set off a firestorm like nothing we've seen before. So when people ask, why hasn't the WNBA said a word? Why are they acting like this isn't happening? This is the reason. Because deep down, the league knows if they open this door, it could change sports forever. And here's the real kicker. If the WNBA let this slide once, who's to say it isn't still happening? Who else might be getting protected behind the scenes? Because if Brittney Griner really was born male, and the league knew it the entire time, then this isn't just some scandal. It's a full-blown cover-up. But what do you think? Could the league actually survive a truth bomb like this? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video with a friend, and I'll see you on the next one.